Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. This is Nelly from Nelly Bakes. Today we'll be making a dairy-free chocolate cake. Please do like, share, and leave a comment down below. Let us know what kind of content you'd like to see from us going forward. Okay, let's jump in. So we have 2 cups of flour or 260 grams. And then we have 50 grams of cocoa powder or half a cup. And then we also have 20 mils of a baking powder. That's a tablespoon plus a teaspoon of baking powder. And we sift that through into our stand mixer bowl. Guys, please don't worry about recording or writing it down the recipe. It'll be listed in the description box below, so you don't have to worry about keeping up. So we sift that through, and then we're gonna add our 240 grams of sugar as well as a tablespoon of instant coffee granules. So this just amps up the coffee flavor within the chocolate. Oh no, this amps up the chocolate flavor within the cake. We're just gonna mix that through until all the ingredients are kind of mixed together, I guess. And then we're gonna add 4 eggs straight into the mixer bowl, and we will add 150 mils of sunflower oil, or you could use canola oil. Any flavorless oil, it just works fine. It's not a problem. And then we're gonna have a teaspoon of vanilla essence just to also amp up that flavor. Vanilla always is the salt to any baked good. So yeah, we're just gonna pick up the speed on our mixer bowl just to combine the ingredients a bit better, and then we're gonna slowly pour in our 250 mils of lukewarm to hot water, so a bit more hot than warm is. By the way, please just bring down your speed, because otherwise you will have a chocolatey mess. It's just spilling all over you. So I'm just gonna spray my 6-inch baking pans. I've got 3 with some cake release spray. I got mine from the local supermarket. Wasn't that expensive. I think it was around 45 rands. And I weigh my cake batter into my cake pans just to ensure that I have an even amount of batter throughout each cake pan. Let me know if you guys want to know how I actually do that, or how to use a scale actually. Let me know so we can just put this all together into a cake basics tutorial playlist type of thing. And then I'm gonna set my oven to 180 degrees Celsius. And I'm gonna bake these cakes for 30 to 35 minutes. So you will just test the doneness with setting a skewer right in the middle of the cake. If it comes out clean, then your cake is baked. Or either you can also just tap your cake on top, and if it bounces back up, then you know that you're good to go and it's all ready. So I use a big commercial oven. A standard household oven works fine. If you're using a fan operated oven, I would suggest that you just bring down the temperature by 20 degrees. So instead of doing 180 degrees, you would do 160 degrees, because the fan operated oven just circulates the heat that much more, and you don't want your cake burning before anything. So you're going to leave your cake pans to cool down for around 10 minutes before you turn out the cakes onto your cooling racks. So I am going to leave the cake pans just to cool down for 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna turn out my cakes into my cooling rack and let them cool upside down for a good 30 minutes to an hour, just to make sure that they are cold and ready to be iced. Now we move on to making our vegan or dairy-free buttercream. I'm gonna use an American style buttercream. So I have got 800 grams of vegan butter spread, I guess. Mine is from Flora, which is a local brand. It is 100% vegan. Just do me a favor though, and just make sure to just check that underneath it says that it's good for baking and for desserts. Because some of them won't sit up as it usually does. It's 100% dairy free, as I said that we are making a dairy free cake. So we're going to put that in our stand mixer bowl, and we are going to mix it up until it is light, pale, and fluffy. Make sure that your butter is softened and it is at room temperature, otherwise it will not get to the consistency that it needs to get to. As you can see, now it's all pale, light, and fluffy. It looks like a whole cloud of pillows. From there, just gonna scrape the bowl. Just make sure that all of the butter is fully light and creamy. Just look at that texture, and that's the texture that you get from softened butter. Okay, softened butter, not melted, softened. Um, and so, yeah, so then we have our sifted icing sugar. It is around 800 grams. That is what the recipe says, but I brought it down to around 700 grams. I thought 800 was just too sweet. So we will add it a half at a time. Just go by taste. I say once again, I don't have that much of a sweet tooth. And anyway, we're going to add chocolate to our buttercream later on, so I didn't want it to be too overwhelmingly sweet, as I was going to use milk chocolate. So add in a half amount of your icing sugar, and beat that on low speed. Okay, you don't want to get icing sugar everywhere, and so just beat that on low speed, and then as it comes together, then you turn up your speed and you basically mix it up until everything has come together. Scrape down your bowl, add in your other half of the icing sugar, mix it up just a bit, just to help the stand mixer just a bit, and to ensure that literally all the icing sugar lands up within the buttercream and not on the other side outside of the stand mixer where you have a whole mess to clean up. So then you're gonna let that go for a good minute or so, just to make sure that everything has come together. Always just scrape down your bowl, just make sure that everything has come together. And yeah. Okay, and then at this point, this is when you're gonna add your flavoring. So I have got 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence going in just to flavor my buttercream and to give it a flavor, a vanilla flavor. Yeah. um, and so yeah, particularly I would suggest that you would use a vanilla extract as the flavor is more potent, but I did not have that on hand, so I just carried on. I just used my essence. It does the same job, although you need to add more than you would. But it tastes quite good, so I'm happy, you know. So you just let that go on again for a good 2 minutes, and then please just do excuse my lighting right now. Ooh, I had to switch on my flash because it was just getting a bit darker. And you guys wouldn't have been able to see what was going on properly. So just excuse that yellowy tinge. I'm working on getting a ring light, so just please excuse me, guys. Um So just scrape down the bowl, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna reserve about like 100 to 150 grams of that buttercream. So the cake is gonna be fully decorated in a character form, so it's going to be a cartoon character cake. Let me know down below if you guys actually want to see me decorate one of our character cakes, and which character you'd love to see. I'd love to know that, and maybe we can incorporate that. Oh, hopefully we have one of our cake orders and we can just kind of film that, you know. So we're gonna add our milk chocolate at that moment, right? So we have melted down our milk chocolate in the microwave for around 30-second burst. Just make sure it's not hot, hot, hot. You don't want it melting the butter or margarine or your vegetable spread, and making the consistency of the buttercream just wonky and otherwise. So you're gonna add that into your bowl, directly on top of the buttercream. It's okay, and you just gotta mix that for a minute or two, just to make sure that everything is together. Once again, do scrape down the bowl just to make sure that everything is all nice and chocolatey. So now we're gonna get into the fun part, which is just putting the cake together. So after my cake layers have cooled down, of course, I will taught or to just cut the tops off, right, just to make sure that I have a level cake. So just once again mix that buttercream through, add like a mix dollop or two, and just spread that around the cake, right? Make sure that you spread it in an even layer. Try to use your turntable as much just to help you even it out. As you can see, I just leave my palette knife at a 45-degree angle and turn my turntable and not my hand, just to make sure that everything just levels out. Do that for the second layer too. At the base of the first layer, I actually have buttercream. You guys didn't see that part. My phone wasn't filming for some reason at that point. So I have a dollop of buttercream gluing the first layer on, so that everything doesn't just slip and slide around, right? So all of that will just ensure that it doesn't go around, you know. The top layer of your cake, make sure that you stick it down upside down so you have the flattest part of your cake, right? So now I'm gonna crumb coat the sides of the cake. So I'm just gonna add the buttercream to the side of the cake, right? I'm just gonna pile it on and we will scrape it off later, just to make sure that it covers all the holes, and it just traps in all the crumbs. That's the whole point of a crumb coat. It is a layer that just traps in all the crumbs so they don't get into your final decoration. At this point, honestly, really, you could have just left your cake as a naked cake and just sliced and enjoyed it at home. It still would have just been beautiful, but just to make sure that the temperature in the fridge doesn't affect your cake layers as much. So this will ensure that your cake stays moist and nice inside. So it's not affected by the fridge and its temperature and everything, and doesn't just crust over. So we're gonna use our palette knife just to kind of scrape around, and then we're gonna take our scraper, put it at a 90-degree angle onto the cake and just scrape. Once again, you are using a turntable to help you. So you're not going to move your hand, you're going to move the turntable, which is going to move the cake, right? And it will scrape the buttercream off. I will do a more detailed video on this soon. Let me know what flavor you want actually, so that we can make this happen in a way that you guys would love it. And so you constantly want to clean up your scraper just to make sure that you constantly have a clean surface, if I can say, to work on. So you can't be scraping something off and then you want to put that back on. So this is like building a structure, you know. So I'm gonna use my palette knife there just to help me and kind of just offsets that side. So as you can see, once again, I just scrape the sides, and at this point you will just take your palette knife, pull back from the top, right? Pull back the top layers. Once again, I say when I do a detailed video, I will show you step by step how to achieve a perfect smooth top and sides on your cake. But at this point, this is a beautiful looking semi-naked cake, and you can just do a chocolate drip or decorate with strawberries, or leave it just as is and enjoy it with your family. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Do share with your people, like a comment down below what more you would like to see from me, and we will make our best to we'll make sure to make that happen. Enjoy your day, and thank you for watching. Bye.